Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and for today's episode we're going to talk about teleconverters. Now I just did a couple of videos in a row about Fujifilm's new 7.10 firmware update for the Fujifilm X-H2S, and I got a question on one of my other videos, I guess everything just started getting pushed, on why I actually recommend the 2X teleconverter when I was taking a few photos for a video with this lens, a Fujifilm 70-300, which as a personal lens is in my top 3 because it's compact. It's a compact telephoto, it's hard to beat, image quality is amazing. And before we actually get started, I want to frame things for you. So this is the Fuji 150-600, and this is the 70-300. Pretty big difference when it comes to size. This is f5.6 to f8 at the telephoto end, and this is just like the 100-300. This is a 4 to 5.6 at the telephoto end. Now, when you add a teleconverter onto it, the 1.4x or the 2x teleconverter, I'm just talking. No, absolutely not. Go ahead. This is everyone's park. It's beautiful. Oh, no. I'll pause it till... Always got to respect people when they want to enjoy the park too when we're doing this, right? This is the 150-600, which is an f5.6 to f8. This is the 70-300 that I'm really going to start taking with me a lot more often. That's an f4 to 5.6 at the telephoto end. Now, of course, we've got the Fuji APS-C crop, the 1.5x crop. So that means that at the telephoto end, this is a 900mm and this is a 600mm. Now, I wanted to point out before we get into the teleconverters why I like the 2x teleconverter, because you have to understand that teleconverters, 1.4x, pretty standard in the professional field because there really isn't that big of an image quality loss. But the 2x, a lot of people don't like the 2x teleconverters because there's a big IQ loss. But what they fail to say is that it still offers a perspective for photo and video shooters that you can't get unless you spend a lot more money on a considerably more expensive lens. And that's really what makes these teleconverters, the 2x teleconverters, so attractive. Even more so for video than for photos, because for video, we expect video to be soft. You have a lot of color grading options at your disposal, but also a simple conversion, a lot of the image quality issues you might have with video. Back to the teleconverters, I want to show you why the 2x is so cool. So note the side difference here, and now I'm going to toss on the 2x teleconverter on this thing here. So now these two are effectively the same lens, 150-600, and this is actually now a 140-600, and look at the size difference. It's huge. It's astronomical. This is not going to fit into most backpacks, but this is. And you have not only the same effective focal length, but also the image quality, for some reason specifically on this lens, really doesn't take that big of a hit, and I think it's because maybe it has less glass to travel through, the light has less glass to travel through, I don't know. But if someone does, let me know in the comments below why this one is so different from the 100-400, the 50-140, and this one when it comes to image quality. And for the most part, that's really only an issue when you're pixel peeping, which is a very bad habit that all of us really need to leave behind. We're losing sunlight pretty quickly, so I'm going to rush things along. The other thing I wanted to show you was the 1.4x teleconverter, but I want to have a small disclaimer because the only one that I have is the one that comes with the 200 f2. Now this one is not the same one as the standard black one that you can buy, and if you want to buy this on its own, it's about $900. Of course, that prompted me to look into why this is $900, and it turns out that this has more glass elements. It's designed to match some kind of professional standard. I don't know if it's like set by some sanctioning body or by Fujifilm themselves, but also has to match a standard for weather sealing as well when it's attached to the 200 f2, which is something that was designed as well as the GFX lens, but adapted to Fujifilm's X-mount system. Ultimately, this thing here, there really isn't a huge image quality difference, and by there isn't a huge one, I mean there's not one that I've ever noticed between that and a standard 1.4x, but I no longer have that old 1.4x, so just putting that disclaimer in before I toss this on. So we're losing light right now pretty quickly. I'm going to pop on the lenses and we're going to do a couple of image quality tests and hopefully some video too before the sun sets. Okay, so I just want to start off by correcting myself. Because this is a 2x teleconverter, it's going to take it to f10 at the telephoto end. So before anyone goes crazy, yes, I am pointing that out. Let's go in. Let's go relay ace. I like relay ace. Speed up that shutter speed a bit. And there's a ship down there. I'm going to try to do this on the tripod just because I feel like it's better that way. At least when it comes to the comparison, although I don't know how scientific this comparison is going to be. So first things first. Here's one shot. I don't know what that ship's doing down there, but Hopefully it doesn't move too much for this. And so again, given the size of what this lens is and how far I can see, how much detail I can see from here, it's cool. Like, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, this is just super cool. And let's see if we can see, there we go. Now, air pollution's like crazy right now, so a lot of this, a lot of the image quality issues here are really just because of that, unfortunately. I haven't decided if I'm gonna edit these shots or not, but I'll make sure to put some unedited JPEGs in here. And just that blue hue is the air pollution. Is it the Empire State Building? I think so. I don't know. Oh God! So funny story. You see this thing here, that big tower. So that is like a super expensive condo that waves in the wind and makes a ton of noise, and has been nothing but a nightmare for residents. And yeah, there's a lot of drama behind that one. And I only bring that up because drama is fun sometimes. Just not for us. Oh, looks like a little boat is trying to make some moves there. Hey, little buddy. Oh, is there a boat mode? I should check that with the autofocus. Of course, it's on cat mode. Subject detect. I keep exiting out of the screen automatically by mistake. Automobile. Do ships count as automobiles? Let's find out. No. I wonder if those cars there do. No, also don't count. Here's maybe a cool shot. I think we're going with the underexposed aesthetic here. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to video mode. Pretty sure I'm not going to need an ND filter here. Let's see. Video mode. Ooh, I stand corrected. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch it out of vlog to maybe just reel at ace. What's going on here? Movie setting list. I keep pressing the side button. Let me try to turn that off. It's F-Log 2C, the new one. Fairly neat. Let's take the ISO down. And let's check where our white balance is. 55, 65. We'll leave it at 65 for this. And like, it's cool. God, I wish I had a fluid head tripod for this. Can we see? All right, so there's definitely an auto-focusing issue here, but this could be because of me doing like the YouTube video. Let's see, what do we have? I think I gotta raise the ISO a little bit. All right. Here's that ship. Looking all majestic. And I wonder if we can see the cars on the bridge. Yeah. Like, that's kind of cool, right? And imagine you go into whatever city you're feeling with this 2x teleconverter to shoot a travel log for a travel vlog or something for B-roll. For B-roll, I don't think there are any real image quality issues here. This is actually me documenting surprisingly good traffic on the George Washington Bridge. The traffic flow, rather. Okay, so now I'm gonna toss on the 150 to 600, and we're gonna see how it does by comparison. And then we'll maybe toss on the 2x teleconverter onto that one, although I think it might be too dark at that time. So I'm gonna try to move quickly here because this moved since the last recording. And here's the ship. There are, let's raise the ISO a little bit, we're losing light. All right, go up to 800 ISO. This 150 to 600 is such a deceptively light lens, and it's a lot of fun, but the thing is you need a lot of light to use it. And for these video clips, I'm not going to be applying any denoiser or something because that'll make the export take forever. And I think most people don't denoise their footage. So it's kind of what we're looking at. Let me see if I can track one of those trucks actually using car auto detect while we're here. Store that clip. What am I doing? Wrong. Bad Omar. Let's go to AF mode. Subject. Yeah, we're not doing that. You can see that I don't use these a lot. Automobile. Let's see what we got. Let's pick another truck. Maybe this guy, see if it locks on. But then again, you're at F14, and I think actually autofocus kind of doesn't exist at F14, but I'm sure if I'm wrong about that, someone will correct me in the comments. Oh, that lower level GWB. I spent so many years commuting into that city. Okay. I'm going to try taking a few photos. Doesn't really seem like we're going to have some side-by-side comparisons because this is what it looks like now. I'm going to drop this a bit. Raise ISO. Let's go here. Zoom in. And maybe you see that we're at F16 because of the teleconverter. Let's see if I can raise this a little more. And take a few other photos. How's it going? There's so much pollution. That's a cool shot. There you go. I think that's going to be a cool shot. Okay, and now I'm going to toss on the 2x teleconverter here. You know what? I just realized. I'm so dumb. Let me drop the ISO, drop the f-stop. Where'd this guy go? There we go. Is that a jet skier? No, that's a buoy. Here's that terrible, terrible, terrible hotel. or not hotel, but apartment complex that I don't really care for because ain't no way I'm going to be affording that. All right, and now let's try it with the 2X teleconverter. How's it going? If you want to go ahead, I'm just taking a couple of...
I'm telling them to not move your setup.
It's fine. If they want to hop on the thing, I'm just taking photos like way down there. So I can shoot over your head. Okay, guys, I don't think we're going to get to the 1.4x teleconverter today, but if that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments below. I'll make it back out here or go to another location. So now, you can already see I'm at f11 at the widest end, but let's jack that ISO up a little bit. And this is what I mean by with teleconverters, you're paying for the perspective, not really the image quality. Now, this ship is a lot further away than it was before. Actually, make sure it's sharp because right now, we are at 1800 millimeters full frame equivalent. And I don't think too many people are going to be complaining about the image quality here. I might have to jack up the shutter speed since the cars are moving. ISO to 3200. Let's see what we can get here. And there's certainly some image degradation, without a doubt. There has to be. You know, there's a trade-off for everything. Every tool is a compromise. But look at this shot here. This looks like the Eye of Sauron right now. And now I want to switch over to video mode as well because that's really what I use these for. Oh, I'm a production artist, so I shoot like mostly a lot of ads and stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I also have just my nerdy little YouTube channel that goes over equipment and tools and techniques like this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's definitely, it's fun.
Yeah.
So here's another kind of establishing shot going on here. I don't know why the recorder looks so saturated to me. I don't think there's a LUT on. And now let's see the Eye of Sauron here. Do-do-do, I'll put the actual music on, but I think I'll get a copyright violation. Hey everyone, so things got a little busy towards the end with a couple of people coming up with questions, 2 other photographers coming now that it was near sunset, and I opted to socialize instead of kind of wrap up with commentary there, so I'll just give you my final thoughts at the desk here. Obviously, we've all seen the JPEGs, the photos, videos, and I've overlaid a few more I took before I left. And ultimately, the 2X teleconverter. This 2X teleconverter, any 2X teleconverter has been made fun of in any camera ecosystem since allegedly 2X teleconverters are no good. Obviously, I showed you the perspective that they offer that you can't get even with cropping in or anything like that because it allows you to further crop in for those perspectives you otherwise would not have. Now, I think they're fine for photos, no problems whatsoever, especially if you're viewing them just on your cell phone, like on a little Instagram screen or something. But for video, I think they're actually grossly underutilized because you now can walk around carrying 2 or 3 different lenses with you, 2 or 3 different focal lengths if you walk around with the 2X and the 1.4X and then your standard telephoto lens. So obviously New Jersey, New York, a lot of air pollution in this area, but I am going somewhere where there isn't a lot of air pollution. So if you want to see a follow-up and maybe a better assessment of image quality, let me know in the comments below. We have like a day or 2 to decide this. Because otherwise, I'm going to be bringing a GFX camera with me. And fun fact, a lot of the older GFX cameras are now cost less than pretty much any flagship camera. And if all you care about is photos, that might be the route you want to go if you're making a purchase this year. With that being said, that's the end of this video. Let me pose for a thumbnail. All right, that's not going to work out. I'm going to take a photo. But that's the end of this video, and I'll catch you at the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, though.